Hi, I'm Mel, and I am choosy. My ultimate skin goal is gusto kong mag-even out ang skin tone ko.
Hi, my name is Gian Anwada. My skin goals are to become whiter, fairer, healthier, and younger.
It really shows na yung skin ko ngayon mas moisturized, mas glowing, and mas healthy.
Thanks to Glutasy, I got my skin tone back. Thank you so much, Glutasy.
Every coffee needs a lotus.
What's the secret to beauty's beauty?
Langis.
Ito ba lahat ang gamit mo?
Ay hindi. Isa lang ang gamit ko for all. Moringa O2 Therapy Oil. Hindi lang malunggay. Meron ding olive oil and omega from sunflower oil.
This therapy oil helps relieve my dry and irritated skin.
It helps lighten my scars and stretch marks.
It helps make my hair young and healthy.
This is our beauty secret.
Sana all!
Zero oil.
Give employers more ways to extend a helping hand. The financial programs we design with our business partners focus on creating a safety net for devoted employees. We believe secure and happy employees are essential to a successful business.
Nandito ako nung nagpa-practice mag-bike ng anak ko.
Nandito ako nung nag-birthday si Mommy.
Dito ako nag-celebrate ng wedding anniversary namin.
Distance will always be a problem. So choose a home that makes life more fulfilling by bringing you closer to everything that matters the most. Arezzo Place Pasig. Live fulfilled.
Finma Properties, making room to build your future.
it really shows na yung skin ko ngayon mas moisturized, mas glowing, and mas healthy.
Thanks to Glutasine, I got my skin tone back. Thank you so much, Glutasine.
Every coffee needs a lotus.
What's the secret to beauty's beauty?
Langis.
Ito ba lahat ang gamit mo?
Ay hindi. Isa lang ang gamit ko for all. Moringa O2 Therapy Oil. Hindi lang malunggay. Meron ding olive oil and omega from sunflower oil.
This therapy oil helps relieve my dry and irritated skin.
It helps lighten my scars and stretch marks.
It helps make my hair young and healthy.
This is our beauty secret.
Sana all!
Zero oil.
Give employers more ways to extend a helping hand. The financial programs we design with our business partners focus on creating a safety net for devoted employees. We believe secure and happy employees are essential to a successful business.
Nandito ako nung nagpa-practice mag-bike ng anak ko.
Nandito ako nung nag-birthday si Mommy.
Dito ako nag-celebrate ng wedding anniversary namin.
Distance will always be a problem. So choose a home that makes life more fulfilling by bringing you closer to everything that matters the most. Arezzo Place Pasig. Live fulfilled.
Finma Properties, making room to build your future.
Hi, I'm Mel, and I am choosy. My ultimate skin goal is gusto kong mag-even out ang skin tone ko.
Hi, my name is Gian and My skin goals are to become whiter, fairer, healthier, and younger.
It really shows na yung skin ko ngayon mas moisturized, mas glowing, and mas healthy.
Thanks to Glutasy, I got my skin tone back. Thank you so much, Glutasy.
Every coffee needs a lotus.
What's the secret to beauty's beauty?
Langis.
Ito ba lahat ang gamit mo?
Ay hindi. Isa lang ang gamit ko for all. Moringa O2 Therapy Oil. Hindi lang malunggay. Meron ding olive oil and omega from sunflower oil.
This therapy oil helps relieve my dry and irritated skin.
It helps lighten my scars and stretch marks.
It helps make my hair young and healthy.
This is our beauty secret.
Sana all!
Zero oil.
And we're live. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our Zoom participants. And hello to our FB Live viewers. So this is another live webinar series for a cause powered by Ariva Academy. Welcome to another series of our HR Virtual Summit PH Bounce Back HR. So my name is Irish Malanda Samson. I'm your host, and joining me is Mr. Howell Mabalat as my co-host and our moderator. Hello, Sir Howell.
Hello, Miss Irish. Happy weekend!
Happy weekend.
Grabe
Yes.
ang bilis, no? Friday na. Yeah.
So everyone hang on. 1 week to go. Okay, so our topic this afternoon is don't waste a good crisis, how to thrive, not just survive during a global pandemic. So we will be having a live, an international speaker live from Singapore. Later, you'll got to meet him. But before that, let us first greet our international, our overseas participants, and they are from Kolkata, India, Surat, India. Hello, thank you for joining us. Makassar, Indonesia. Saigon, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Lalitpur, Nepal. Singapore, Phuket, Thailand. Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Denver, United States. And Golden United States. Okay, thank you for joining us today. And in order for us to have a smooth flow of our e-learning session, here are the house rules. For those of you who are first-time viewers of our webinar, please type in the chat box now, hi. Please type in hi now. And let us know where are you from so we can greet you as well, okay? Hello, Filipinos to Villa. Welcome to our webinar. Paulo Rivera from Makati. Okay. Lo Chuan, hello, welcome to our webinar. Jomer from Makati. Okay, hello. And let's do a sound check. So you will be needing a good quality headset. Please use the following codes to let us know if we are loud and clear and audible. So please type in now 111 if you can hear us clearly. Let us check. Carla, thank you, loud and clear. Danica, Filipinas, Richard, Ronaldin, loud and clear and audible. Thank you, Cromwell. Maria Rosario. Okay, so 222 means you can hear us. 2121 means our sound is breaking up or there's a log. And question mark if you don't understand anything. So we're loud and clear. Let's move on. Okay, we will be having a quick break later after the presentation of our guest speaker and before we move on to our question and answer portion. Participants' microphones will be temporarily disabled by the administrator during discussion to avoid interruptions. Questions will be entertained after each topic of the session. For questions and clarifications during the provided time after each topic, please click the raise hand button for the administrator to enable the microphone for live questions. Yes, we will entertain live questions later in the Q&A portion. So type in your questions at the Q&A box. One question at a time will be entertained. For comments and feedback, please scan this QR code. This will be directed to our feedback form. And please give us your comments, suggestions, and topics to discuss for us to enable our to improve our future e-learning sessions. Okay, and now to discuss don't waste a good crisis, how to thrive, not just survive during a global pandemic. Sir Howell, please do the honors in introducing our guest speaker today.
Definitely, Miss Irish. Pero may hindi ka nabasa. Ang bilis ng mga nag-hi, di ba?
Yes,
may nakita akong isa. Si Ma'am Kathleen Rose Ang. Ma'am Kat, di ba sing Jen?
Hello, Miss Kat. Yes,
hi, Ma'am Kat.
Ayan.
She's a cat hero. She rescues cats sa EDSA, sa Timog, kung saan man. Pag may nakita,
and she is now from IKEA, with IKEA na. Yes.
Ayan,
hello,
so,
Miss Kat.
Hi, Ma'am Kat. The cat hero. Ayan, hi, Ma'am Kat. Okay, so, introduce natin ito. Miss Irish, last year, na-interview ko siya during our HR Congress, Philippine HR Congress. Isa siya sa mga international speakers. And it's an honor to see him again, though virtually, this is the second best thing. He is the best-selling motivational author of Beyond Survival and international keynote speaker. He's also a multi-awarded talent developer and senior executive coach, startup founder and investor with more than 30 years of experience as global learning innovator and transformation leadership expert. He is an HR industry icon who has won several prestigious awards, including the most outstanding contribution to HR industry from HRM Singapore and leading HR professional from the Singapore Human Resources Institute. He manages several pioneering education ventures, including founder and CEO of Global Learning Solutions, Mind Champs International Preschools, Smarter Robotics, and the School of Agility, Grit, and Entrepreneurship, or SAGE. Everyone, let's all hear it for Mr. Roger Colliantes. Palakpakan. Hello, Sir Roger.
Hello. Howell, how are you? I'm very excited to team up with you.
Nice to see you again, sir. After almost 1 year.
Yes.
Andiyan ba yung robot natin?
Andito, kaya lang medyo stay at home.
Stay at home, ayan.
So,
excited na kami, Sir Roger.
So am I. So, how do we do it? Let's start with the screen sharing first.
Yes, so what will happen, sir, is I will give you the platform, the center stage, the limelight. Mag-fade out ako sa FB Live. Although dito sa Zoom, medyo nakikita pa rin ako. But it's always you who they will see. Ano po? Okay.
So I'm gonna miss you for a while, right?
Yes, but I'll be the wind beneath your wings.
Yeah, there you go. That's fine. It's cool. Let's do it.
Let's do it, sir.
All right. So, good afternoon. Those of you who are sign up here right now, attending the Ariva webinar, and those of you who are on Facebook, this is going to be a great time, I promise you. I have 1 hour and I have lots of messages for you because just like you, I am stuck at home and wondering when will the new normal come back. The bad news is there's really no new normal. So the sooner we get that, which is my message, we got to live with the abnormal, and that's the new normal. So the topic of my talk today is don't waste a good crisis. That's actually the topic in my book I wrote 12 years ago during the financial crisis. You see that picture. It's called Beyond Survival, How to Thrive Amidst Life's Inevitable Crisis. During that time, which is one other crisis, which is now overtaken by the COVID crisis, I taught the world the word thrive. I actually talked about during that time that surviving is not the challenge. It's thriving during a crisis. That's what it's all about. So I'd like to start to get to know you, if you don't mind, and Howell will help me on this. I'd like to ask you 3 questions, if you don't mind. I just want to feel where you are in relation to this COVID pandemic. So here are my questions. First question. Are you optimistic that the ECQ will be gradually lifted by next month? So all you have to do is say yes or no. I'll give you time. I'm going to count down 5. And then when we reach 1, we all log in and vote at the same time. Is that okay? All right. So here we go.
So far, sir, 3 yeses and 3 nos.
So far, okay? So that means lilima pa lang ang naka-sign in o nag-iisip pa. Okay? So, give you more time.
Ang bilis na, sir. Ang dami na.
Sige. So, ganito ang gagawin natin, Howell. I-eyeball mo siya. Bigyan mo ako ng idea kung ilan yung yes na so far. Yung no is okay. Yung sa yes muna tayo. Optimistic ka ba? I gotta speak in English, by the way, because we are Gaming Global.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you optimistic? That is you. All right. So I think I'm gonna count 1 to 5, and then we close the voting. All right.
So for our participants in Zoom, we'll give you a minute to answer. Are you optimistic? Yes or no? Ayan. Instead of typing on the chat box, answer the poll question. Ayan. For the Facebook Live participants, what's happening now is here right at Zoom, in this Zoom room, we are conducting a poll question. We're conducting a poll with a question, are we optimistic, yes or no?
Right.
Okay, how many seconds left, Sir Jeff? Okay, 68% optimistic, but they're just 32% pessimistic.
Okay, that's good. All right, so let's proceed. Second question. Are you hopeful that a new vaccine will be made available? We're praying later next year. Are you hopeful that there will be a solution to this crisis?
Okay, the poll question number 2 is up. You have a minute, participants. Answer it now. Hopeful that the new vaccine will be made available later next year, yes or no? Ayan. In the meantime, habang sumasagot sila, Sir Roger, sobrang excited ako na marinig yung mga ituturo mo sa amin.
We're going to have a great time together, Howell, together with our Facebook Live friends over there. And
sir.
Okay, how many?
92% hopeful.
There you go.
Galing.
Galing. All right. Then, one last question.
One last question.
The last question is this. Are you somehow concerned that maybe a second wave of coronavirus or COVID-20 maybe, will come and spread its fear again by year end? So are you concerned that might happen? A second wave will come? I leave it to Howell.
Poll question number 3 is up. You have a minute. Are you concerned? May COVID-20 ba? May second wave ba? By the end of the year? Yes or no? Ang ganda ng mga tanong natin. We have very interesting and relevant questions. And we thank our Zoom participants for their active and engaging participation. While we are monitoring the Facebook Live, we're also seeing people saying yes, 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 yes. And some are saying no. So Roger, 87%, they are concerned.
Yeah.
13%, they're not concerned.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much, Howell and Jeffrey. Okay, what is this survey all about? This is called a sentiment analysis. It tells us in what spectrum of feelings you are. So the good news is we are on the hopeful, 92%, which means it can happen and we really know we can feel it. It will just come around. So that's good. There's a sense of hope. But the sense of optimism is lesser, that maybe it will take a little while, so we're actually managing our expectations. So it's not optimistic that we'll be slowly go back to the new normal or the new abnormal. But there's a bit of a concern that maybe this is not over. And I can feel you because I have the same concern. So while we're hopeful that we can fix this one, guess what? We have to be ready that there's another one. So here's my question. If number 3 happens, did you learn from number 2? Okay, so today that's going to be my question. My question is, this COVID lockdown should have given us all the strength to face life again with a lot of optimism, a lot of resilience, and a lot of confidence that we are better because of it. And the topic I mentioned is don't waste a good crisis. So at the end of the day, I want to ask you, is this a wasted crisis? It's a good crisis. Because I tell you, if this is the first crisis you ever have in your life, those of you who are millennial listening to me, this is the biggest crisis I have seen in my life. And if you have seen it, this is probably one of the topmost. And if you survive and then thrive, then I think you won the battle. So let me start with the book that I wrote. Way back in 2008, I said, we live in extraordinary times. During that time, the problem was even controllable. It's not a pandemic. It's a financial crisis. The ones who got hit were mostly bankers, those who invested, because there was spillover effect. But it's not like today. When we live in extraordinary times, during that time, I already proposed, we need to learn new mindset and new coping skills. And the same thing I learned 2008 is the same thing I'm learning today. We must learn to thrive, not just survive in crisis. So what does that really mean? Well, first, I want you to welcome yourself to the COVID world. Okay? This one sounds weird, but I want to tell you, you gotta embrace this COVID and say, okay, give it to me, because I'm gonna learn from you. Okay? This COVID world is the world we will live in even after COVID. So what are they? COVID. That's my own concoction, okay? If you can live in a world that's chaotic, out of control, volatile, indifferent, and debilitating, and you survive it, you can become a thriver. So let me explain. First, it's a chaotic world. It's called a global pandemic. What that means is it's an epidemic that is span across, global. And the conclusion, no one is spared. Whether you're the boss or the employee, you're rich or poor, we're all the same. And I'll explain to you why we're all the same. Equalize. Unlike previous crisis, it affects some people, not other people. This one, no one is spared. I don't know of anyone who says, oh, I'm spared, I'm immune. No, nobody. All of us. Number two, it's out of control. For example, things we take for granted are slowly taken away. For example, going out, having social lunch, and having dinner with your family, that's normal, right? But now it's not normal. Going to church, going to your synagogue, praying, that used to be something that, I do that regularly. But now we cannot do that. There are many things that were slowly taken away, not taken away in a sense, but temporarily, put aside because of this COVID. So it's something different, isn't it? Used to be you can go to the beach. It's summer, but you cannot. So you have to pretend you are in a beach. Number three, the crisis is so unpredictable and unprecedented, nobody was prepared for this. So I wasn't prepared for it. Okay? I didn't know I will start to work from home. I never thought what that means. If you are a mother who's working from home, you never asked for this, that you're stuck with your kid, who's also in isolation, and both of you are looking at each other and say, so what do we do? Then you realize having stuck with my kid and having to teach him is quite difficult. And I'll tell you something also. The kid is also worried, why am I stuck with my mom? So no one is really, prepared for this. It's volatile. It's, everything we take for granted are taken away slowly. It's unpredictable, unprecedented. I mentioned that now already, okay? Anything you know before don't work anymore. For example, before we were told you don't have to wear mask. And then before you know it, you're told you have to wear mask even if you're not sick. There are many things that we did not know about this virus that we're now beginning to unfold slowly. Before, we thought if you are sick with the virus, you are visible. I could see you. You're sneezing. You have a headache. I could see you have sore throat. But now, you don't have to have the symptoms, but you can still be sick. So it's like, oh, I didn't know that. So I got a problem. Because there are many people I talked to, I didn't know that they were sick. So the whole thing is really rough and tumble. So if you're still with me and you're saying, yeah, that's true, and I survived that, then I tell you this is the good news. We are equal in our helplessness. We are all helpless at the same time. And finally, our response options are very limited. So your option and my option, limited. I don't even question it. If you want to flatten the curve, what is the conclusion? Stay at home. And then I go, why? Because you will save lives, especially your family. Okay, are there any other option? None. Just stay there. So this is the world we live in. So the question now is, how did we go through this? It's now 7 weeks. So I ask you, if you're still sane after 7 weeks and still around, congratulations. Okay? If you're still here, listening to my talk and attending this, I have good news for you. You're still alive. You're not in heaven. This is still earth. That's good news already. And here's the good news. Thanks to COVID, we all became scientists. We became Dr. Anthony Fauci. Okay, so the good news is everybody talks like an epidemiologist, you know. God suddenly say, pare, lockdown. Hey, practice social distancing, man. And let's flatten the curve. Before, I never heard those words. I'll tell you why. Lockdown is a prison term. Lockdown means, okay, you are put in prison, you're locked down, so that will prevent a prison riot. And now that means I'm in lockdown, that's exactly how you should feel. You're stuck in your cell, you stay at home, don't move. Number two, some people, like Philippines, we make it sound better. Community quarantine. Okay. In the local dialect, we are in prison together. It's so nice, right? It's so nice. So it sounds better. You don't feel like I'm on a strict order. And in Malaysia, it's called movement control order. They're very precise. Don't move. We're controlling it. Of course, you know the results, right? In Malaysia, they opened already last Monday. In Philippines, we're still community quarantine. Okay. Then the other word, social distancing. Do you know that social distancing is an oxymoron? There are two words that don't belong to each other. You know, when you say social, that means intimate, right? How can you be social when you're not near each other? Then suddenly you heard this word, social distancing. As though we know it. When I heard it the first time, it's like, I can't put my heart around it. Social, tapos distance, very far. How? And then we say, okay, we change it. We make it better. Self-quarantine. Okay, that one I understand. That means I stuck with myself. Okay, fine. In the US, they call it shelter in place. Again, this is a concept when there is an air raid, you know, bombing and so on. You know, during the war, you stay at your shelter and stay in a place. You don't even move. Okay, that's almost how I feel. And of course, the nice word that I learned during COVID is work from home. I mean, that's another oxymoron. When I'm at home, I don't work. But now I work at home, and home is work. Guess what? How many of you can raise your hand if you want. How many of you feel like work from home means more work and less home? You know, I can assure you, Howell has been busy, you know, doing all this webinar. You couldn't have been busier today, right? So
Agree.
Yeah, that is good news, right? I mean, we learned something new, but here's the good news. If you can suffer this together with the rest of mankind, we have a shared perspective. We know what it means. So we need to learn how to go over this together. Oh, this is my favorite. Now I'm a epidemiologist. I'm like a scientist. I want to be, one day, most people would like to be a scientist like Dr. Anthony Fauci. Flattening the curve. I didn't know PUI, PMU. I thought these were bad words before, you know. Okay, now you say, hey, PUI. Oh, no, sorry, PMU, you know. It's like, okay, you know what I mean? Then triage. Triage is a nice word I heard. Triage simply means that it's a hospital term that means we determine who will be given a treatment first than the others. So we have priority. PPE, wow, that's another word. Now, actually, it means mask. Why do they have to call it PPE? Okay, sounds better. Ventilators. Okay, that's a big thing. Oh, this one is my favorite. I'm now a social scientist. I can now say, if there's a virus, you have to TTI. First, you got to test, you have to trace, you have to isolate. Wow, so nice. And then you have to count mortality, recovery, antibody, you know. And that's why you say, okay, the bad news about Philippines, our mortality rate is higher than most Asian countries. Our recovery is low. So medyo may challenge, di ba? Oh, this is my favorite. Convalescent plasma. Oh, I thought convalescent plasma is a new television, okay, with nicer color, No, it's the blood of those who survived. And then we talk about vaccine. So again, some of you are hopeful. We all are. Thank you. And now we have an antiviral medicine. It's called remdesivir. So now another word. of course, my favorite, thanks to Donald Trump, hydroxychloroquine. I tell you, you must use it because it's not tested, but I like it. First, it sounds very good, and it's a long name. It must be good. All right, that's me. All right. So this is the good news, right? I'm making fun of it, but you know what? Even COVID has become a source of fun for me. How about this? I'll give you 3. First, what are the 7 days of the week, Howell? During quarantine period. Okay? No more Monday to Sunday. It's now this day, that day, the other day, yesterday, today, next day, someday. Every day is just like the other day. That is a fun way to describe, because sometimes I don't even ask, what day is it today? Before, I look forward to Sunday or Saturday, right? Now I realize, so today is Saturday. Yeah, but how come it feels like the other day? Because there's no more weekend. Hello. You're on total weekend, just like me. I would say that's one of the fun part, I've always said, I wish I spend more time at home. Now, I wish the Lord did not hear me, because now I really have no choice, okay? Some of us say, one day I'm going to rest. I'm going to have a holiday. Now, you can have all the holiday at home. Second, this one is even funnier. What are the 3 choices you have during lockdown? Very simple. Government, you stay at home. If you don't, you stay in the hospital. If you don't, you stay in a memorial park. You only have 3 choices. Either you stay, you get sick, or you die. And there's an even funnier one, and this is not a political statement, but this is true. I just found out. Search the word idiot in Google. Click images, those of you who have a phone, whose picture appears on top. I can assure you it's not Howell's.
I'll try it now, sir.
Sige,
I'll type.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, type idiot.
Idiot, and
in
then
Google search.
Google, then click images.
Click images.
Whose picture appears on top.
Ayoko sabihin.
Okay, no. This is nothing political. So unfortunately, somebody political is out there. And Sunday Pichai was asked, how come this guy's picture appears? He said, it's the algorithm of our system.
Okay.
Out of 3 trillion searches, this is the one that comes on top. Nobody put that there. So it's scary, right? So what I'm saying is, chill out. Yeah, this is not serious. I don't even want you to take this joke seriously, because I just pick it out in the internet.
This is the exact image, sir, that I see. Exactly. I'm seeing right now.
Yeah. Okay. So be careful, Howell. You might be number 2. Okay.
Oh, no, Lord.
Okay.
Please help us.
All right. So now, what is crisis then? Okay. Here's where I switch now. Okay. I want to be serious and share with you this, that this time is the best time to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Alvin Toffler, who's a futurist, said the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write. Wala na yun. The illiterate are those who cannot learn new things, cannot unlearn old things, and cannot relearn again. Okay, so first, in the COVID, there are many things we're learning. Remember, I told you, you're now scientific, know exponential, but you have to unlearn many things also. This whole idea that, no, I can try it, I can test whether it's really true. What's wrong? I want to go out, I want to go to the beach. Who can stop me? It's my freedom. Okay, go. It's okay. Anyway, it's your life at stake, So you may refuse to unlearn. But the thing is, we got to relearn. So this is where I will help you. I think we got to relearn some 15 things that I prepared for you. So there are 15 things I suggest we learn during this pandemic. Okay? These are my thoughts. These are the ones I wrote in my book. And it's free for you to apply. All right? So at the end of today, you will learn 5 things. And I hope you share it with those who are not on Facebook, those who didn't attend it. Okay? Be part of your new learning. Okay, first, I'll share with you 3 hard realities of crisis. Meaning, you gotta have this attitude. Okay, These are hard realities, but the sooner you accept it, any crisis, you'll just say, come on, give it to me. I know that. I learned from Roger. I have this hard realities. Number two, you need to learn 4 fatal mind traps. 4 that can make you think like a loser. That's the one I want you to avoid. The first one, you embrace. The fourth one, you set aside. You unlearn that. And then you learn new things. 2 essential mindsets you need today to be able to recover and rebound anytime. Whether it is financial crisis, physical crisis, divorce, health crisis, you can apply the same thing. 2 mindset. So if I am successful in sharing these 2 with you, I can assure you it will change the way you look at life. Number 4, I want to share with you a technique. I developed this, called the flip side technique. Anytime you see a crisis, you flip it. Flip it. Meaning you play with your mind because your mind is playing with you. When you see a reality, you must learn to say, GPS, that means, okay, good news, bad news. Blessing in disguise. So you actually change the way you look at things. And once you learn it, you flip it, you're good. You're good to go. Then I'm going to give you 3 principles from my book, which I want you to remember, and more important, I want you to share, especially with your loved one. Because that's really the reason why you're working very hard to stay at home, right? So what I suggest you do after this session, you give a lecture to your family, no? Okay? Because if you learn it and just keep it to yourself, I think useless. All right? So I'm going to try. All right? So get ready. Nothing to memorize. Just listen and feel it. Anything that you can remember out of 15 is good enough. All right, so let's start. First thing, embrace the reality of crisis. There are 3 things you must do. I call it the triple A. When there's a crisis like a pandemic, 3 things. Stay awake, stay alert, stay alive. All right. I think you could already sense what that means, right? Stay awake means you gotta know as much as you can know. Don't just float around and say, oh, this will go away. I don't know what this is, but this will go away. Oh, don't worry. By July, this will all disappear, magically disappear. No. They will not magically disappear. You gotta know as much as you can about that crisis. Why is that important? So you remove away the fake from the real. You remove the fear from the truth. You gotta be like Dr. Fauci. Know as much as you can. Let the facts dictate. Number 2, when you are awake, you also have to stay alert. Stay alert means, what if he doesn't know what I know? It's possible. So right now, I'm in Singapore, okay? It's by choice because I happen to live here. So I'm here, but I'm very alert here because when I was in the Philippines, my antenna are out. I assume everybody has it because who knows who is asymptomatic from not? I cannot ask Howell, are you sure? Do you think you might be asymptomatic, which means you are sick but you don't know? You say, how would I know? And then you can ask me the same question. So it's better for us to assume that he is and I am, then we're both safe, right?
Yes.
That's called stay alert. Okay? So when they say 1 meter, I think you should start learning what 1 meter is all about, and you can sense it, you know? Once you go back to work, you will notice this sense of distance will come out. You don't even say, excuse me, you're not 1 meter, you go away. You can sense. So you have to assume everybody has it, then you social distance, you wash your hands, you do whatever is necessary. And number 3 is most important. You gotta make sure in a crisis, you have commitment to yourself. I'm gonna be alive after this. Yeah, it's scary, but I will be alive. I made the decision, when this is over, I'm still alive. And what do? I avoid doing stupid things, okay? Which is against what I know and which is against my assumption about where that crisis is. So, now that you know that, you're not gonna play with quarantine and say, anyway, nobody will know. So I'll sleep at night. I'll meet some of my friends, have some beer. Who will never know? We'll play a little game here and there. Don't do that, because that will not keep you awake. So here's the 3 rules, therefore, very simple. Stay awake, stay alert, stay alive. Keep telling yourself, okay, I'm awake, I'm alert, and I'm going to be alive. When you have that, you have what's called agility built into your system. Okay? You don't take your chances, but you're also not afraid because you are awake, alert, alive. Okay, so that's my first lesson or sharing with you today. Second, what is a crisis? Okay, let's look at crisis first before we can go to how do we fix that. John F. Kennedy said, when written in Chinese, the word crisis is composed of 2 characters. One represents danger, the first one, wei, and then the other one represents opportunity, ci, wei ti. So that means danger enwrapped or with opportunity. So a crisis has danger involved, but there's also an opportunity. So here's the question. What do you focus on, the danger or the opportunity? That is the most important thing. Sometimes we're so focused on the danger, we miss the opportunity. And so that's why we say, if that is the case, by the way, the 2 words, similar words, wei qi and xuan qi, means the same, okay? But it means differently to the way it sounds. One is pinyin and one is, I would say the Mandarin Chinese. So danger and opportunity. So let's talk about COVID. If you look at COVID as a crisis, here are the dangers. And some of this you have to sacrifice. Because of COVID, lack of movement. Okay. Accept it, embrace it. That's the fact. Flattening the curve, don't even question it. Just follow. If the government say ECQ is extended, just extend it. They're not doing it because they want to feel good. No. Don't even question it. Lack of socialization, don't worry. When it's back, we will still be with our friends. They will still be there. Okay? I suggest you focus your socialization with your family. You are already stuck with your family, and then you even get apart because you lose control, you lose your emotion. The first socialization is family. If there's anything to fix and you have fixed it today, COVID was good for you. If your family became closely knit, thank God. Okay, so you have turned it into an opportunity. Increased stress level, there will be. Increased uncertainty about the future. Will I lose my job? My company is not a global company, So how long can the owners put in money to keep me afloat? That's a real danger. Loss of security. Because of ECQ, all bets are off. My boss don't have to go to HR and say, I'm giving you 30 days. No, sorry. Emergency means we are temporarily closed. Come back when okay. A Chinese restaurant just closed yesterday with a simple note. I'm sorry, we cannot contain it anymore. Consider yourself, for life. Loss of meaning. That would be the worst. When you feel like, what is life after this? I want to flip that because that danger, we know that. We've gone through that. I want to focus more on the opportunity. COVID enables people like you and me to establish more meaningful relationships. I tell you something. Because of COVID, I'm now in touch with people like Ariva, my friends in school, my teammate. It's so easy thanks to Zoom. Before Zoom, when you say, let's Zoom. Zoom what? Now everybody say, okay, Howell, Zoom you later. Instead of see you later, Zoom you later. Instead of saying, let's meet, you don't even say that. One day when you go back, you're not going to tell me, Roger, let's meet tomorrow. You just say, let's Zoom tomorrow. Because now you realize Zoom is more effective, right? Because I don't need to travel, I don't need to be stuck. And I don't have to use the excuse, sorry, I was late, traffic. And then I ask you, how long you been living in the Philippines? Oh, really? Good. Okay. Number 2, greater awareness of inner strength. This is the most interesting part. I've experienced it during the financial crisis. I lost half of my net worth. And I realized if I focus all the things about gaining back what I lost, I've lost twice. I lost my net worth. I lost my self-worth. Then I realized it's no use agonizing over this. Anything you lost is lost, period. If you say, okay, in 1 year you recover 30% of what you lost, good luck. After 2 years, 50, good luck. After 3 years, 100, you are the best. But anything below 3 years, you won't recover. So forget it. The house you're supposed to have, the car you're supposed to have, forget it. Okay? Just focus on your inner strength. And here's the most important thing, number 3. Because of crisis, during financial crisis and now, I realized the value of life. Now I realize I was so paranoid, like I'm vulnerable. They call me vulnerable population. So I said, I'm glad I took care of my health because I'm not, I'm so vulnerable. Life might be snapped out of me, I haven't paid all my bills, then done, No, I need to pay all my bills first, okay? So appreciation of the value of life. So here's a question I have for you. Do you enjoy your life more now? After COVID, consider yourself second least on life. If people during World War have the story about I survived the war, you survived COVID. I think we should all be wearing a red, medal that says survivor. Okay? How? Staying at home, pare. I just stayed at home, I am a survivor. Number 4 is more important. Actually, even if we're not allowed to go to church, I realize some people have developed even a deeper sense of spiritual value. You know why? Because there's no ritual to follow. We always say, oh, I don't have time for God. Yeah, now you have. He's 24/7. Why don't you call him? So deep sense of spiritual value that comes from value of life, right? And the best part, gives you new opportunities and choices. Maybe you start thinking now, maybe it's not good just to rely on one job. Maybe I should consider doing something extra. So many of my friends are now starting small businesses, no? Because they realize, mahirap pala to. I mean, in English, this is tough. I cannot just rely on one job. Okay, so if you got me so far where I am, okay, here are the things you must avoid. So, because you have seen the danger and opportunity, if you focus on the danger, you might fall into this trap. I call it the 4 fatal traps. Okay, the first one, when there is a crisis, the first thing that will attack you is a sense of helplessness. Remember I said we are all equal in that helplessness? And I don't know how many of you said this, I can't do anything about this. The answer is yes. But the question is this, what can you do given the situation that's within your control? This is very important. Within my control, simple, take care of my health, protect my family, okay, be spare with my money, eat healthily, do some exercise. So you're not helpless, to be honest. You just have a choice problem. Second, when you have become helpless, you fall into the second one. Be careful, huh? Second one is worse than this. Blame fixing. Blame fixing is, have you caught yourself doing this? Who the hell said anyway that there should be an ECQ? How come I wasn't consulted? ECQ, who said it's going to be 6 weeks? I don't get it. And my barangay captain, he doesn't even know what he's doing. He says, quarantine, but they don't even have tools. You began fixing, How can we help ourselves? We don't have testing. Oh, okay. It's so many people, 50% of their time wasted blame fixing. Okay? It's like, so who do we blame now? This government, that government, the LGU. Okay, fine. I have a business where I told them, don't blame fix. Do something. So we came up with a project, one of my startup. We said that, what's the problem? The LGU, they keep blame, right? Why? Because they don't have tools to monitor quarantine, how do you call that? A curfew. So what we did is this. We told them, we're going to fix it. We're going to give you a monitoring system that will enable you to attach all your CCTV camera to a control center, and you could see how many people are in and every circle that we can identify. So if there are more than 10, that's the place you go and check. So we did something. Instead of blaming the LGU, we gave them a tool to do their job. Number 3, when you're blame fixing, you're more naturally going to fall in the third part. This is already third level. It's called catastrophizing. That's a big word. Simple meaning is this. You feel that the catastrophe is just waiting to happen. Just like what you watch in the movie. Parang annihilation. So you have this feeling that the world is coming to an end. And maybe before the ECQ is over, it's going to come to me. Okay? I think you should avoid that by all costs, because that is not going to help you. It will lead you to the fourth one. And when you're on the fourth level, you're almost in the spectrum called depression. What is that? Hopelessness. The feeling that I'm doomed. I'm vulnerable. I'm just waiting to get it. So since I'm going to get it anyway, I'm going to go out there and get it and see. That's stupid, obviously, but this is the danger. So here's my suggestion. Once you feel number 1, helpless, quickly turn around and say no. And this is what I'm going to share with you. Okay? Agility is the ability to say, I can do something about it. I can do something about my activity. I can do something about saving money. I can do something about teaching my child at home. I'm not helpless. Because once you stop it there, the loser cycle will stop. Okay, now, if some of you are listening to me and say, sorry, Roger, you should have told me this long time ago. I'm already in number 3. You know? So I say, okay, go back, okay. So these are the fatal flaws. Okay, so let me now share with you the solution. So let's talk about 2 essential mindsets. So this is the third piece of my message to you today. You only have to master 2, agility plus grit. I'm sure you have heard those words before. If I did a survey, how many of you heard agility? Everyone, grit. Okay, fine. But what does that mean in COVID, in crisis? Okay, let me share with you. First, agility is a mindset. This is what I call in my book, Don't Waste a Good Crisis. Okay, if you're a Catholic, you've heard about Good Friday. Sometimes you worry, why is it that good? Well, you know the answer, right? Because after the Good Friday is resurrection, right? So that's exactly what crisis is. It's good. It can only make you better. Don't run away from it. And the good news is you can't run anyway. So you're stuck with me. We're stuck with each other. So what do? Okay, here it is. Let me explain what I mean, and I hope you think about it and give it a chance. Agility is that belief you have in your mind. You're in control of your own destiny. You can become the best version of yourself, even in the worst time of your life. Let that sink in. That's a very simple definition for me. Your belief that you're in control of your destiny. You can do what you can do. You can get out of this alive, and you can make a whole new life out of this. Number 2, you can even be the best version of yourself if you switch from danger to opportunity in the worst time of your life. Do you realize that this is the most important lesson you need to learn in life? And if you have a chance, I suggest you teach this to your kids. You know, I run a preschool. we teach our kids to use this situation now as an opportunity to be agile. You can actually teach kids the same thing I'm teaching you. That, anak, kaya natin to. Sorry, forgive me, my son. I really don't know how to teach you now because I wasn't prepared for this. But if you help me, you cooperate, we can make it happen, you know. So this kid doesn't have to be the worst of time. So son, let's not quarrel, okay? You help me, I'll help you. The belief that we can control it, that's what agility is all about. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I switch a little. Agility has 4 parts. And I'll share with you what you can do every day to develop your agility muscles. There are 4, Physical agility, mental agility, emotional agility, social agility. During COVID, you can learn that. So let me share with you. There's a behavioral background to this. There's even a scientific. Okay. Our body, physical, especially during COVID, you know, just sit down, watch Netflix, you know, the only thing that you can develop are your fingers, you know, so no good. So you gotta make sure you're physically agile even during COVID stay at home. So how do you do that? You have to believe that there are 4 hormones you need to develop. Dopamine is called the energy hormone. It's the one that pumps into your body, okay, when you do something physical. If you're an athlete or you go to gym regularly, that feeling you have when you, after exercise, you feel like good, that's dopamine. Of course, if you are, you know, like me, who stay most of the time in the gym, the only dopamine, you know, is this. That's not dopamine, okay? Dopamine is the inner energy. So here's what I suggest. Every hour, do something physical. If you're at home, stand up, walk, go to the balcony, okay? Go to the kitchen, to the bedroom, run, you know, back and forth. Just do something physical. Don't watch Netflix for 1 hour doing nothing, because your body will really get used to it. Why? Because according to medical science, physical activity regularly allows your heart, lungs, and brains to pump. You know that, right? So that when you're able to do that every hour, you are able to respond to stressful situations. That's why many of you are saying, oh, I wish I could go to the gym because I'm really, really feeling lethargic, yeah? But you must fight that, okay? If you can, just go up and down the stairs. I don't know what you can do, but do something physical. If you want, go and do your webinar and your talk with people by walking. Hi, Howell. How are you today? Yeah, good. Excuse me, Howell. Why are you? You know, you kind of, you know, you kind of, you're running. Oh yeah. Because while I'm talking to you, I'm jogging, man. Okay, sorry, you caught me on my 60-minute, you know, break. You must do that. Promise me you will, because I can tell you it increases your agility. Second, mental agility. Very important. During lockdown, okay, if you start doing only things that you like to do, but there's no mental challenge, you gotta wake up. Your serotonin, your attention hormone, is gonna go down. So you must do any repetitive mental challenge each day. That's the reason why if you have an apps and you're playing Candy Crush, if your mom is playing Candy Crush, let her do it. Because that's a lot of mental agility, no? Crossword puzzle. You know, if you have a kid who likes Mobile Legends, let him do it. You know, because he's focused, mental, repetitive. You know what will happen? His serotonin levels going up. So later on, he can face any mental challenges. What it does medically is when you do that repetitive challenge every day, it will improve your willpower. You will try to finish what you have to do. You don't jump from one to the other. It's called focus. In science, in our language, we call it intentionality. You know, focus on what you gotta do. So if you're a working mom, say to yourself, I'm gonna focus on washing clothes, ironing, And I'm just going to focus. I don't quarrel with my kid. There's a time for everything. Okay? So, son, get out. Okay? I'll talk to you later. Okay? This is not the time to quarrel, Mom. I'm doing my mental agility as Roger suggested. Okay? All right, number 3. I suggest you develop your emotional agility. Okay? It's called endorphin, right? So we call it the happiness hormone. Here's what you need to do. During COVID, you must think of something that when you think about it, makes you feel good. Okay, this is the time to reminisce. Think of the beach with the family, somewhere. Talk about it. Makes you feel good. Look at the pictures. Okay, many of you have 2,000 pictures in your phone. When was the last time you saw 10% of those pictures? Look back. Now, for me, this is very personal, but if I'm feeling not so good, I just look at our wedding picture with my wife, in Tagaytay, and I already feel like, feel good already, Okay? But you must do it consciously. Do not think that during COVID, emotional agility is by the side. You must experience positive emotion each day. So here's my challenge for you. At the end of the day, think of something that will make you feel good. So before you sleep, you put a smile on your face. Oh, I wish we can go back to Santorini. That beautiful white place. Oh, make it local. I wish we can go to Baguio. I can smell the pine. It's like, and then sleep. Don't be like this. Oh my God, what a useless day. I did nothing today, and tomorrow I still do nothing. You gotta develop that agility, emotional. Finally, I like to suggest you must develop your social agility. Okay, what's that? Oxytocin. Now, this is the hormone that you have the least during COVID because of social distancing. Okay? Your relationship hormone in your blood has now dried out. Okay? But do you realize that when you reach out to somebody in normal times, your oxytocin level go up, your sense of trust in people, your sense of vulnerability, your ability to be transparent, your ability to love, to have intimacy, feel really empathy, very high. But you know what? During COVID, you must watch out because this might go down, because you get depressed. Remember, I told you, get helpless. When you don't have all this agility built in, you're not pumping in all this hormone, you're really going to feel meaningless. So here's what I suggest you do. Zoom. Reach out to as many people as you can during this opportunity. Example, how many of you still get in touch with your office mate? How many of you have done this? How many of you, and this one I like because Rina just did that last week. Rina is my wife, Rina Nyo. She did a alumni homecoming of her classmates in high school, and they could not do it before. But now they realize it's so simple, no? Come as you are, it's so awesome, okay? So right now, I really miss Ariva. Now I see Howell, I feel like, oh man, Howell, you're looking good. You're still there, man.
You too, sir. You too.
Yeah, man. There you go. So we're really developing our oxytocin. So here's my suggestion, therefore. Be agile means, okay, you gotta reach out physically, mentally, emotionally, socially. That's the practical way I can share with you. Agility is not this theoretical concept that you have to be opportunity and quickly. No. You just develop it. And I tell you, you will thank COVID because you develop these 4 muscles when you least expect them. You want to hear the second mindset? Okay, I'll share with you. Second mindset is grit. Grit. The word grit itself already explains it. It's not grit, it's not grit, it's grit. The way you sound, you already know, right? Grit means that conviction, conviction that I can thrive and survive under any adverse condition in spite of drawbacks, setbacks, or failure. That's great. Many people talk about this now, but I like to make it simple. It's your never say die attitude. And in my book, I call it the get better, not bitter attitude. Simply lang. You don't have time to be bitter about life. Just get better. When I say move on, I really move on. Because if you're bitter, you stay in the past. And when you stay in the past, you don't move, right? So get better means, all right, this is the way I go. I'm going to go this way, and I will lead the past. That's exactly what I suggest you do. That belief that I can be better. So my challenge to you is at the end of COVID, were you a better person than you were before it came? 20 years from now, when your child talks to you and say, Dad, were you there during COVID? I just read it, over the internet. Yes, son. And he asked me, what did you do during COVID? What's my answer? I ran away. I was depressed. I really, or I'd say, son, I'll tell you this. I actually thought I will not make it. If I did not make it, you would not have been today, my son. You know what? I attended that course. And he taught me, get better, not bitter. So I want you to remember that, son. When it's your turn to experience what I did, remember this. Don't cry. Get better, not bitter. That's my lesson for you. That's what I learned during the war. The war with COVID. That's the way you should say it. So here's what I want to share with you. Techniques. All right. So this is, again, in my book. And I love it because I've been practicing it. If you tell me the good news is you lost money, I always say, okay, let me find the good news. Okay? So the good news is looking at the downside and then looking at the upside. Why? Your brain tends to concentrate on the bad news. The bad news is you cannot go out, correct? You flip it immediately. Your brain will tell you, bad news, can't go out, no social. No, I flip it. I said, the good news is, now I have time for my family. Bad news is I have to be socially distant. But the good news is I learned how to use Zoom. Okay? And now I learned how to order food via Grab. Now I can use my phone. I can choose the menu. I never do that before. So the good news is I'm stuck at home. There's not a lot to do, but I have become digital. I have more time with my family. I'm practicing what Roger told me, all these agility muscles. This is the good news. So if you ask me, is it such a bad deal to be in quarantine? No, not for me anyway. Because I'm busy. I'm busy looking at the good news. Second technique. So if you can practice this, anytime somebody tells you, okay, sorry, I just heard your boyfriend, left you. Oh, I know, that's the bad news. The good news, I can now upgrade. So you always look at the upside, So there's always a good side. Of course, that was a joke, but the point is, anything you hear bad, convert it to new good. Second, very important, blessing in disguise. This is the most important lesson I learned during the financial crisis. I'm a banker, senior banker, covering Asia. I used to be paid good money. Okay, until the crisis came, which I did not expect. Okay, so the bad news is I lost, as I told you. And then I would have a choice. I would have a choice to feel bad. Why, Lord, did you do this? I'm about to retire. Why did you not wait for my retirement? So then I realized that every time there's a crisis, there's a blessing behind it. Remember the wait, see? There's a problem, but there's an opportunity. the blessing in disguise is, because of COVID, it's teaching us a lot of things. Number one, appreciate your blessing. That you're alive, that you have a family, that's the blessing already. So the Lord is just teaching you, I'm keeping you staying at home to learn two things. One, you have a family, you have a home, and you're alive. How many of us are even grateful that unlike some people, we don't even have a home to stay? Isn't that a blessing? Sometimes you don't realize that this COVID makes you realize how blessed you are. How blessed you are. How blessed you are. How many people have jobs? How many people have home? If you have any of this and you have a family, you better not complain, man. You are blessed. Number three, I call number three the attitude of gratitude. Again, coming from blessing. If number one, number two didn't help you, number three should help you. Think of your life as half full rather than half empty. I'm sure you have heard that concept before. Because sometimes when we look at life, we always look at what I don't have. The attitude of gratitude is being grateful for what you already have. And praying that you're going to get more, that's fine. But gratitude means contentment with what you have. Doesn't mean I don't mean don't work hard. Huh? That should not be the message you get. The point I'm saying is there's a lot to be grateful for. A lot to be grateful for. You know, I'm a vulnerable population. You know, I have a lot to be grateful for because I took care of my health, and I'm grateful because I have some savings to buy medicine, you know, that keep me, you know, as healthy as I can. That's a lot of gratitude. So if you really look at all these things, it's really teaching you something. Don't complain. You have no reason to complain. The COVID is just God's way of telling you, come on, grow up, man. Grow up. You know, if you don't grow up from this, I really have bad news for you. Any crisis will flip you. If this biggest crisis, you're still standing, you listen to me, and you implement some of the things I told you, I can already assure you, you're the new hero. If you don't learn from this, I have bad news for you. You're a loser. And there's nothing we can do about that. Okay, so let's end on a slight note. So what does that mean? Okay. I always remember what Steve Jobs said when he was suffering from pancreatic cancer. He said in a talk to Stanford graduate students, he said, your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. Live in the moment. Love every moment. Crisis or no crisis, this is the day you have to live. You have to embrace it and follow the flipping I just told you. I'll share with you a story. I read this book about a nurse in palliative care. And for the last 12 weeks of the people in ICU are about to go, just like in COVID, she's been recording the regrets of people who are dying. This was written in 2012, if I'm not wrong. Okay, her name is Nurse Wave. Okay, and she documented, you know, asking, you know, sir, what would be your wish before you go? I just want to hear you so I can share it with your loved one. And he said these are the most common, not in any order, I guess, but the first one. And I want you to think about this, and I'm going to slowly do this because I want you to think about your life right now. after COVID, can you say this to yourself? I wish I had lived a life true to myself, not a life that others expected of me. That's really sad because in my coaching experience, executive coach with many executives to begin with, this is what they say. I was so caught up in my role, I forgot that was not the real me. You know what? COVID gives you the time to also realize this. Be true to yourself. Okay? Number 2, this is for men, especially like me, who work so hard. How well this is for you? Most males said, I wish I had not worked so hard. Sounds weird, right? No. I'll explain. Because sometimes it's okay to work hard, but sometimes you don't know you're working too hard that you miss out. Like what? Well, working so hard, you forgot you had an anniversary with your wife, right? Been there? You work so hard, you did not attend your child's recital. Okay. You work so hard, you're so tired, you don't even talk to people at home. Did I say more? Okay, so. Second is, spend more time with the people you have because you have no other better choice. Number 3, this is very important. Oh my God. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. In this situation, this is the time to tell your loved ones, I love you. This is the time to say to your wife, I'm sorry. I'm so obnoxious. Now I know. Okay? If I will, and now I realize what you say when you say it's very hard to, you can stand me. Because now after staying with myself for 7 months, I also cannot stand myself. Okay? So I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, son. I didn't know how to handle this. I really just break up, my son, because I don't know how to teach you. Express your feelings now. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with friends. All right, that one, my advice. Okay, those of you who have Zoom call, after my call, just call everybody. Yeah, hi, Howell, I miss you. Hi, Iris, hi. You've got to do it. Because remember, the oxytocin, you need to develop your social. And finally, here's the last one. Then I will end with my parting message for you. I wish I had let myself be happier. Sometimes I realize we are the ones who prevent ourselves from feeling happy because we forgot there's so much to be grateful for. We forgot to count the blessings in disguise. So we feel like we don't have a happy life. So my suggestion, happiness is a choice. Happiness is a state of mind. Now, here's what I found out. Happiness is not the car that you drive. Because I haven't driven my car for 7 weeks. It's not the house I live. You know what? After 7 weeks, I feel my house is so small. But you know what? I realized because it's so small, it's easy to find my kids and my wife. I don't have to shout, hello, where are you? Are you on the 7th floor? No, I'm beside you. Oh, hi, hello. So what I'm saying is, happiness is a choice. So my advice for you, be happy today. After my talk, I think it should change your mind altogether. And here's my last take. Here are the 5 things the global pandemic should have taught you. If it hasn't taught you, I'd like to suggest you think about it. Here's my number 1 learning. You got to be optimistic. Look at the brighter side of life. This is not the end of the world. No use to mock over, what's happening today. There's a brighter side. Number 2, celebrate the gift of life. You are alive. Every moment you wake up, I want you to say, oh my God, I'm so happy. This is another COVID day. But I have my wife, I have my kids, the sun is up, the clouds are up, and the energy and the pollution is gone. Oh my God, what a beautiful life. Number 3, appreciate your blessings. and more important, your little treasures. Little property, you know, like I have a nice laptop. Okay, it's old but still working. I have good Wi-Fi reception. Little treasures, most people don't have. And by the way, I can order anything I like now, and I don't have to go out. Like what? If I want kway chow or I want noodles, I just call Grab, and I tell them, please drop off. I don't want to see you. No problem. It's so beautiful. They just leave it there. Then I pick it up. It's like, wow, little treasures, right? Enjoy simple pleasures. Okay. From now on, I think when you go out after COVID, you won't be looking for a fine dining restaurant. I'm very sure about that. You'll say, okay, I want to go back to that barbecue store, that Innards, I want to go back to Mercato, this thing about, eat good. No. I just want to go back to simple things, and I want to create happy memories now. I'll take more selfies. And more important, I look at them because Roger told me, remember? It develops your relationship hormone, remember?
Right.
And number 5, my friends, this is for you, Howard, this is for me. Nourish your health. Treasure your family. They are the most important assets. Everything else, accidental. So if you have a loved one who's waiting for you, kids who are looking up to you, you're done. You're okay. And you have a home getting smaller, it's okay. So I end up with my little advice in conclusion. My last word, Howard, is this. Remember 3 principles of thriving. I will make this very slow because I want you to remember. Because after this session, I want you to go back to your friends and say, I learned 3 things today. Okay, first, don't waste a good crisis. So if you see someone who's wasting away his COVID time, you say, come on, get up, good. This crisis, you must learn something here. Let me teach you about agility, Let me teach you about something about grit, Do you realize you can flip everything? Yes, go ahead. So therefore, this is what I call unlearn. Unlearn self-limiting beliefs. Number 2, get better, not bitter. Learn new empowering mindset. Stay away from the past. It's all gone. There's no need to pick up what is gone. Move on. If there are things in your life that dark parts of your life, leave it on. Rewind. You're in a new life list, remember? Okay, so learn new empowering mindset. Number 3, and I hope today you learn that, because that's my message to everyone here. Remember this new phrase, and now it means something when you say it. Thrive, not just survive. Survive, thrive, not just survive. Which means relearn new transforming habits. Crisis can make you the best version of yourself. Crisis can make you see opportunities you never saw before. Crisis can make you face the next one if you learn something from this. So I like to say thank you for the gift of your presence today. I know one of the things you have done is you have actually welcomed us to your home. I'm sure Howell can see where you're coming from. Some of you are working somewhere. Sometimes home is not something we want to share to people, right? I like to say thank you because you give us an opportunity to say part of your home, and more important, thank you for giving us opportunities to see your heart. And I hope I was able to touch your heart just like my heart. And I'd like you to remember this. Live life like it truly matters, because it does. Thank you, and have a great day.
Bravo, Sir Roger Colliantes. Ayan.
Thank you.
You know what, sir? Ayan, everybody, we are being flooded with appreciation posts of gratitude. Sir Roger, you know what? I felt like I just spent 3 hours in a place of worship, whether it's a synagogue or a church or a temple or a mosque. You didn't just give us not just information. You have spiritually renewed and revived us. At least that's how I feel. Thank you so much. So again, big hand for Sir Roger. Grabe.
Thank you so much, Howard. Thank you so much, guys. I know I haven't reached out to you name by name, but you know, I can feel you. You can feel me. That's all.
Yes, and that's the best thing that you gave us, sir. The connection, the gift of connection. Sir Roger, we'll be pausing for a 2-minute break so that you can grab maybe a bite or a cup of coffee, and you have it now. So, and our participants will have the opportunity to type in their question at the Q&A. But in the meantime, before we pause for a break, our birthday celebrants, Delia Silvia, Evangeline Abelia, and Dan Christian Ramos, happy birthday! This is a day of celebration. We're alive. Don't go away. We'll be right back and be promised.
Thanks, Howard. Cool.
All right.
Every coffee needs a lotus.
Welcome back to our afternoon session with none other than Sir Roger Collantes. We thank you, our Zoom participants, FB Live participants, LinkedIn, and of course our audience via YouTube live stream. Thank you for supporting us and being with us today. For those of you who have just typed in their question, we thank you. And for those of you who still have some questions, there's an opportunity for you to type in at the Q&A box. But in the meantime, I'd like to thank you for, like what Sir Roger mentioned a while back, letting us into your homes. And thank you for opening your hearts and minds so that we can pour blessings of wisdom from resource speakers who were selfless and generous enough to give their services for free, to enrich you, to build you, to grow you, so that when this is all over, and we come to the new abnormal, just like what Sir Roger Collantes, we're agile and we are full of grit. In the meantime, as we give to you without asking for anything in return, we're now giving you an equal opportunity to give something to others. And that is through Bayanihan Act 2020, especially the Bayan ng Mahayhay in Laguna. Whatever you will donate, and because you are blessed, and you have something that you'd like to share, whether it's 100 pesos, 200, 1,000 or so, may God bless your generous heart. Whatever it is, 100% of the proceeds will go to the Bayanihan Act, or the coming together of heroes, and the Bayan of Mahayhay. So I'd like you to visit the http://www.arriva.com.ph/donation. And this is a moment. Live the moment and thank the moment. And you know what? After all this is over, those people you've helped will be thankful. And they will be praying for you. But God Almighty will bless you all the more. So thank you for supporting us, and thank you for being with us. Now, I would like to call on Sir Roger. Basahin ko lang yung mga local participants natin, sir.
Sure.
Yan. Our questions are piling up already.
Hmm.
You have fans from Bacolod City, Bacoor City, Baguio City, Batangas City, Dinian Laguna, Cabuyao Laguna, Cagayan de Oro City, Candelaria Quezon, Capas Tarlac, Carmona Cavite, Davao City, Lawag Northern Samar, Liloan Cebu, Lukban Quezon, Mabalacat Pampanga, Nagcarlan Laguna, Nasugbu Batangas, Quezon Province, San Fernando Pampanga, San Jose del Monte Bulacan, San Pedro Laguna, Santa Rosa Laguna, Toledo City Cebu, Tuguegarao City, Zamboanga City. Salamat mga Pilipino sa pagsuporta. Yan. Now, so Roger,
yes.
as if the spiritual encouragement was not enough, we'll read on more questions for some more of the not only emotional recharging, but also spiritual recharging.
Sure.
So for our Zoom participants, please type in your question at the Q&A box. We also encourage you to do Zoom live questions. So Sir Roger can see you from Singapore, and you can answer Sir Roger personally your question, at least virtually. And for Facebook Live viewers, we are monitoring your comments. And we'll be giving you, of course, the airtime so that we can also answer your questions. Starting off with an anonymous attendee from the Q&A box here in the Zoom room. My takeaway on this presentation is self-awareness. The ability to identify and understand one's own emotions and how they affect oneself and others. My question is, how do we help others, especially those on the other side of the spectrum, discover and build self-awareness?
Okay. I think the first thing is we're gonna have lots of empathy, because for them to show you, or for you to show them how to have self-awareness, you have to be self-aware yourself of their situation. So I would say this is really a kind of coaching situation where you don't really teach those people who you want to help. You show them that you empathize with their pain, because right now there are less fortunate people who have more problems than we carry. So it's not easy to tell them, be aware, rise up. Most important is you should be able to learn how to empathize and say, I can understand where you're coming from. I got it. It's not as easy. In fact, I always tell people, I do not pretend that I know how much pain you're going through, but I could just imagine how tough it is to lose a job and still be hopeful. But my little advice is, then you go. So that's when you tell them, first thing is, you gotta be aware that, are you aware of what's happening around? Are you awake to possibilities? Are you trying to keep yourself alive so that you can do something more? And while I cannot know exactly where you are, I can share with you my own thoughts about how I'm learning from the crisis. So technically, or if you want process-wise, you have to really be empathetic first.
That's right.
Before you can be helpful. That's my answer.
Thank you, Sir Roger. You know what? In my observation, I've been hosting the webinars of Ariva Academy for weeks. How many weeks now? And all the speakers, they agree on a common ground that from being result-oriented, leaders now have to be chief empathizers or chief empathic officers. So, tama ka, Sir Roger, empathy muna bago resulta.
Oh.
That's how COVID-19 flipped us all.
Yeah.
Cromwell Maestrado, when I encounter personal and professional challenges which doesn't go my way, how could I take control and take control of the opportunity to thrive or grow?
Okay, I need to have more data, so I will have to supply some data that is missing. So okay, so could you repeat the first part of that question? When I am not in control?
Yes, because he encounters, or Cromwell encounters personal and professional challenges.
Yeah.
And those challenges don't go away.
Yeah.
And he would like to take control.
Okay. All right. So here's a very important thing. Be careful when you say take control. Because that's where it is. Take control doesn't mean you can determine where it's going to go. In today's COVID world, it's very hard to do that. If you lost a job, you don't know where it will go. If you're threatened with a job loss, you don't know. But what you can control, the first rule, is you can control your reaction to it.
Yes.
Okay? So there's a saying that it doesn't matter what happens to you, but what you do with what happens is more important. Okay. So it's the whole idea that control doesn't mean it will go my way, but control means I'm ready and I'm prepared for the worst to come. And I'm willing to take that I can lose my job and there's really nothing much I can do. I have my people that I need to manage, but I cannot see them. But whatever is the situation, I'll do my best. So I think this is the whole idea that I can be the best version of myself, even in the worst of time. So in summary, be careful with the word control.
Yes.
It's not about control. It's about doing what you can do something about.
Thank you so much, Sir Roger. At least you are managing our expectations. It's all about what's within our control. Now we have a Zoom live question. Who's the Zoom live question? What's the name, Ma'am Irish? Zoom live question. Message. Okay, Marie Navidad, are you here? Marie Navidad.
Hi, Marie.
Marie Navidad. Navida or Navidad? Navida.
Navidad.
Navidad. Hello, Ma'am Marie.
Yes, Navidad.
Hi, Marie. Marie.
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon. Can I ask a question? Can you suggest other flip side techniques or we can use in everyday lives, both in personal and in work, in workplace? Can you suggest or any book?
Well, I can suggest my book, but
yes.
but palagay ko, Mary, you just practice the 3 ones. That will be good enough as a start. Okay, if you remember them. Good news, bad news. Okay. So in summary, the flip side is if you hear bad news, make your brain realize that there is a good news. Always. Number 2, blessing in disguise. Always ask yourself, what's the best that can happen and what is the thing that this might bring to me that I never thought about? That's a blessing in disguise. Now you have more time, you can do something else. Maybe you learn how to cook, how to make, and then you can Google, how to make chocolates, how to make suddenly you become a baker and a cookie mom. All right? All right? I mean, just practice those. Very simple. And number 3, attitude of gratitude. Before you end the day, force yourself to think, what can I say is what I'm really, really grateful for? And one last technique. This one might help you.
Okay.
To have that gratitude of attitude, always find a way to thank somebody every day or each day. When you answer this question, thank you for. Thank you for.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Today I want to practice thank you for. That's number 4 technique. I go to my son and say, Roger, thank you for not being too kulit today. Thank you for listening to me. You are so amazing, my son. By the way, thank you for bearing up with my race. It's nothing about you. I love you, my son. So thank you for. The other one is thank you, your husband.
Okay.
Thank you for not snoring last night. I had a peaceful evening, right? Now, this one is very practical. Hey, by the way, hon, thank you for washing the dishes, no? Because I
Okay.
cook and you wash the dishes. I don't know which is easier, the cooking or the washing of the dishes. But you know, because no maid, remember?
Okay.
Oh, there's so many simple things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for driving me around. Thank you for going out and have the pass and buying
Okay.
the grocery. You know, once you practice that thank you for, I can assure you, your life will change. Why? There's so many
Okay.
to be thankful for.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I gave you a fourth one. You can start doing that. And I hope you text me one day and say, my son and I are better friends now.
Yeah.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, thanks, Marie, for that question. Oh, practical.
Thank you, Sir Roger. Thank you so much.
Have a great life.
Thank you, Ma'am Marie, and thank you, Sir Roger. Practical, applicable, fun, and realistic advice. Thank you, sir. Now, we have a present question, and this has been asked by June Prila. So, the question of June Prila, or Prilia. How do you institutionalize agile leadership and mindset in the organization in response to disruptions like this?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That person might be working for HR or maybe a manager. Okay, the truth is agility is going to be the trend of the post-COVID. Okay, because even if you don't teach them, there are so many agile examples that happened during COVID. Yeah. One of the most common agile is food delivery, right? Everything is now express, no? Everything can be delivered within time frame and so on. So here's what you can, I'm not saying should, can teach your people. And this one I teach also people. The customer's requirement has changed. It's now going to be very demanding. He wants real time, and he wants real answer, and he wants it quick. So therefore, if you're a corporation or a company, you have no choice but to learn to be agile. So that means if you're still the old way where, okay, you have to file in HR, you have to wait for 2 days before you will know you will get a loan, you got to fix that. You got to tell HR, how can you be a Grab? Give them a 60-hour challenge and say, what can you fix using Zoom, using this? Well, you can be paperless. Be agile means responsive. Responsive. This is the big change. And I can give you lots and lots of examples, okay? Including, things like schooling, like right now. Distance learning is the new thing, right? I just came up with a response to that, parents, even during when you go back, they want an agile education. They want something that's portable, that I can switch on, switch off. So we came up with distance learning. So for people like you, I'm very sure as a manager, I think you should challenge first the people in your department and say, learning from Grab, learning from My Kuya, learning from Angkas. What are the things you can do to sound like them? Because they are now the new benchmark of service. Once you fix that, I tell you, you already have an agile organization. Here's what I do not suggest. You are a consultant like me, and we have a lesson on agility and all that nonsense, No, that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is force them, give them a challenge, and say, how can we do it? And again, who is our customer? Our own people.
That's right.
If you're HR, your customer, hire your own employees. If you are serving, like in a bank, your customers, I tell you, one last, I don't want to prolong it. When the new normal happens, you will not understand why your customer has changed. I thought, Howell is a nice guy, But now he's so demanding. You say, how come I don't get it? I can ask something, I can get it. I go to telemedicine, I ask for a medicine, it's delivered to me by a guardian. What's wrong? I don't get it. And Howell will say, but and I'll say, but Howell, you understand, we're a bank, we are slow. No, I don't understand. Howell will say. Before I understand, but now I don't understand. Okay, so my short answer is, you give them a challenge, you bench them against the experiences they already have.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't talk about Amazon. It's like, the ones you have, may kuya, angkas,
Dito sa
Grab.
Philippines.
Yan. Sabi mo sa kanila, can we be like this?
Yes.
That's it. For me, that's agile already. And don't stop until their creative juices come up.
Thank you, Sir Roger. Alam niyo ba na sa August 24 ay opening na ang new natin, academic year?
Yes.
As a parent, I posted something na I'm worried for my child. Na August 24, babalik siya sa campus. And then, si Miss Kate Palanya, Rahimpur, nagustuhan ko yung comment niya, sabi niya, homeschooling.
Yeah.
So at least we can be agile. Kung yung bata sanay na nasa campus, baka ngayon, let's try homeschooling.
Yeah. If to that, can I comment? Because
yes, sir,
this is the future. Okay. Because I just came up with a school called distance learning, right? It's called the new virtual school, right? Okay. Many parents, just like you, will still be scared to send them to the real school. And they will be doubling into distance learning for quite a while.
Yes.
Okay? So, unless you have an alternative, it's going to be hard for you to do that. So that's why we came up with that alternative. This is something that we're launching in June.
Wow.
We'll enable people like you to, handhold your kid. So we will prepare him for the big school.
True.
Digitally.
Wow.
So we will create a classroom digitally using virtual, digital, online. And so he is ready to go back. And this is a very good point. Not many people realize it. Your kid will have an anxiety, coming back to school.
True.
Not only you, don't worry. Mom, Dad, you're not the only one who's scared about this separation anxiety. Your kid too.
Yeah.
Especially if he's enjoying distance learning, he'll say, Mom, I just stay at home na lang. Kasi I can still see teacher matrix, no? I like my school, Mom. And by the way, it's only 1 hour a day, no? If I go to school, it's 3 hours. But with 1 hour, I'm having more fun.
Wow.
That's the option.
You're an agile entrepreneur, Sir Roger. Let us know of your school.
Yes.
Let us know so that it's based in Singapore, right?
No. It's based in the
US.
No.
Okay.
It's virtual. So
it's virtual.
Yeah.
So that wherever we are in the world, we can enroll virtually. Thank you, Sir Roger. Ayan, excited na ako as a father. Anonymous attendee, how to stay positive when everyone is in your household? Ulitin ko. How to stay positive when everyone in your household, especially the elders, are negative towards this crisis?
Gandang tanong yan. Very practical, okay? This is the time when you have to bring out again the best patience you have in life, okay? Because now you're in close proximity and you will see some generational gaps coming up. Okay? Your grandma, your mother-in-law, they will be very hard-pressed. They will not be where you are. Okay? Your kids will not also be where you are. And so this is where, instead of waiting for them to change, I would put the onus on myself. Okay? If I demonstrate more understanding, okay, I always say to people, why do you have to shout to your mom? It's like, if she knew the answer and she was agile, I'm very sure she will not answer like that. She's coming from something, okay? Oh, don't shout at your kid like that. He is as harassed as you because he still wants attention, but you're not giving it. And here's the problem for the kid, okay? He sees you as the mom. He doesn't see you as educator. So there's a conflict. It's like, you're my teacher, mom, but can I be absent? Okay, can I choose another teacher? No, right? So what I'm saying is this. This is the time when, since you are the enlightened one, you have to show them that you are the one who is enlightened. So you will just have to show them that you are positive, the way you affirm people, the way you celebrate the blessing you have, eventually it will slowly, affect people. Your mom, you hear, if your mom keeps hearing you to say, "Thank you, mommy, for being understanding," "Thank you, son," eventually he will say, "By the way, thank you for the food you cook, huh? It's good, huh?" Okay. So what I'm saying is, you start with Howell. You start with yourself. All right? And do not expect the things to happen first, because that will be part of the problem. You are the ones who attended my workshop. Your mom didn't attend, your son did not attend, your husband did not attend. The mindset will be different. So patience is important, I think.
Thank you, Sir Roger. So be the enlightened one.
Yeah.
Be the one to walk the higher road. Anonymous attendee. I actually don't participate in our office Viber group because I didn't like the two of them reacted and replied on my request for data to complete my work. Kind of offensive. Today, I just found out I am not emotionally and socially agile. How to flip such emotions here?
Okay. All right. So let's talk about emotion. So let's put the context. What I'm hearing is I have non-cooperative teammates, and my results are dependent on them. How can I use what you told me in order to get out of the situation, isn't it? Okay. Now this one is a bit tricky because we don't know the other person. Okay. Obviously, if they're not enlightened, the same thing will happen again. Okay. So you can actually flip it by thinking like, they are still open to ideas, and telling them something like this. This is what I will do. I would say, Howell, I know you're busy, and I also know you have your priority, but I really wish you can help me succeed so I can succeed together, because there's a data that I cannot, without you giving me that data, I cannot complete. So my request is, if you will be kind enough to give me that data so I can be able to complete my task, and I will consider it a great gratitude, if you can do that. The thing what I'm saying is, you cannot do it by going and confronting the person. Okay. I suggest, there's no reason why you cannot give it, because it's very digital. And I asked this the other day, I can already tell you, that's called a meltdown. All right? Sure. That's not going to go anywhere. So the way I would suggest is, be the blessing. Okay? There are two types of people, by the way, right? You could either be the blessing or a warning to others. So I choose to be the blessing to others and say, I need you, I can't do it, and I wish, if it's within your power, I wish you give me a date when I can have it, so my expectations are clear, and I will consider that a favor. Wow. You try it. You text me after this, and you say, Roger, surprisingly, he gave it to me. Wow. So these are, again, the whole idea is starts from you. I think Howell will summarize that. Everything is within you. Remember, I say it's something you can control. There's a lot you cannot control, how people will behave, but you can control your reaction so that you can influence them to change the reaction. Sure. Is it 100% sure? Not sure. I can tell you it's worth trying. If it works 50% of the time, isn't that worth trying?
It is. Thank you, Sir Roger. Galing talaga ng mga sagot. Sir, we have a Zoom live question from Cromwell Maestrado. Hi, Cromwell.
Hi, Cromwell.
Hello, Sir Howell. Good afternoon, Sir Howell. It's, again, another great opportunity for collaboration. And
nice to see you again, sir. Ayan,
me too, Sir Howell. Thank you, sir. And also, Sir Roger. My pleasure, sir. Good afternoon. Yes, sir. Actually, just have a very quick question regarding the main subject matter we are discussing today. most specifically on the thriving part, because the thriving may include and incorporate some notions on adapting maybe the new normal. And of course, agility takes place on the adaptation of this thriving concept. Yeah, it's just a new dimension of how you live life. And part of thriving is being adaptable and agile. I believe so. If you still here and probably recall the question I made on the chat earlier regarding taking control, because part of agility is taking control of your destiny as part of your slides earlier. So the only perplexing fact and question that is boggling my mind right now is making our life more thriving and adaptable to the new normal. Because if you want to live, a new normal, you have to be exceptional maybe and live an extraordinary life. Sometimes you have to give up maybe some things that are part of a normal one. So my question is, there are people. Well, extraordinary life is really rare. I believe so. In my organization and even in our society today, I believe that that's my personal opinion. It really sets up the average and probably the mediocre lives. Like technology has it made it too easy to get distracted, and focus sometimes. So my only question is, how could we maintain this competency, like for example agility, to adapt on the thriving dimension of our life today? Because sometimes a new normal means maybe divorce, or maybe a new normal means to say death, or a new normal maybe loneliness, or a new normal maybe materialism, or a new normal maybe a settling for less. So my question is, how can we get rid of these things and more positive outlook in life, in thriving, other than surviving?
That's a very good question. Actually, I have to say, Cromwell, you summarized my book very well. I don't know if you read it, but it sounds like you wrote the book for me. Okay, here's really what I think I resonate with you. Okay, thriving doesn't have to mean that you have an extraordinarily different life. Okay? Thriving are incremental things that you do to become the best part of yourself. Okay? So the way I would put it is, thriving is doing ordinary things in an extraordinary way. All right, ordinary things in an extraordinary way. The extraordinary it was thriving is, okay? Extraordinary means you'll still go to work. That means you will still have to deal with obnoxious people. All right, fine. You still have to deal with traffic. But extraordinarily means that you have a new perspective to it. But what that mean? It means it's testing your character, no? Testing my patience, testing my ability to, handle different types of people. So this is the thriving part. So I totally agree with you. It's not an easy thing, huh?
Yeah.
It's not something like after attending this seminar, most people will say, "Oh, I got it. I got the concept." No. Sorry, you gotta practice, like what you said. I want to make sure that I live it daily, and thriving is doing things extraordinarily, and it's incremental. I get to keep improving. If it means, and you mentioned this, huh? If it means sometimes divorce or something, I'm not recommending, but I'm saying, sometimes, and I tell you this with due respect, because I do a lot of coaching and counseling. Sometimes the only best solution is to have social distance. And the important thing is they parted friends, and that they both agree that that's the situation, and they both move on. I think that's basic. I'm not promoting divorce. I'm just saying it could also mean this, just let's work divorce. It could mean, Cromwell, that when you wake up tomorrow, you realize that this is not the deal I want anymore. I don't want this place anymore. It's like Why will I sacrifice with this boss that I can't stand and people who I can't deal with? I have outgrown them thanks to COVID. Okay, so it could mean saying to yourself, I gotta find a replacement. Maybe I should be an entrepreneur and startup. I don't want any more 8 to 5. Maybe I don't really. Maybe I deluded myself thinking like going to work 8 to 5 is a good deal. Now after COVID, I realized I don't miss the work. No, So here is where I'm saying this is where the extraordinary comes. When people are able to say, I accept that this is the reality, I'm going to rise above it and I'm going to thrive. That's what I said. Don't be bitter, get better. So getting better doesn't mean everything is back to normal. That doesn't mean I have to live with what I used to live with. There will be a lot of these things, trust me. By the way, coaches and counselors will be very busy after COVID. Business will be very good, okay? Because people are resolving this question that Cromwell asked. It's not his own life. He's just asking, how do you do that? So my advice is, and let me summarize. I always like to summarize. Thriving means doing ordinary things in an extraordinary way with a touch of thriving put in it. It's not something that happens quickly. It's incremental. It's a process.
Yes, exactly. It's processual and probably contextual in nature as well.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Thanks
Thank you so much.
Thank you for reading my book and summarizing.
Yes, sir. That's a good start. Right?
And thank you, Sir Cromwell, for always participating and asking your questions live. Thank you so much.
Anytime, sir. Thank you so much,
Sir Cromwell.
Still have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Now, Sir Roger, time flies so fast. Grabe. So we're just 7 minutes shy of 2 hours.
Really?
So can you still accommodate just
of course.
one?
Of course.
Okay. I'm torn between the many questions here.
Sige,
pili ako yung para na mga sa frontliners natin. Pasensya na po sa hindi natin mababasa. This is from a frontliner, Sherry Ann Gail Sadi. As mentioned earlier, we know that the recovery rate in the Philippines is low compared to the other Asian countries. If a frontliner would ask you, seeing these things going on, how us frontliners can see the good side of this crisis, not just thinking about surviving this.
I know.
Thank you, Ma'am Cherry Ann.
Thank you,
This is in behalf of all the medical frontliners and essential workers who are out there risking their lives for us all.
First of all, Cherry Ann, thank you for asking the question. But before I answer it, I just want to say, in behalf of all the people, I'm very sure, if there's one new phenomenon I've seen after this, the new heroes are the ones in front. Those handling those kind of cases, between life and death. So I could only say I'm absolutely amazed that you guys do it. And if there's anything I learned, sometimes when the calling, a higher calling comes, it's a purpose-driven life, So none of you ever say, oh, I wish I could get away. You have the purpose and you have the passion to do it. That's why you're doing that. So please accept my sincere congratulations and appreciation. Now, addressing the issue. Here's the most difficult part. And I'm not a frontline, but I have read the most difficult part is to see that you are helpless to help this person because either you don't have the supplies, you don't have the tools. And seeing and hearing people live this world without even the solace of having their loved ones around them, that must be the most painful. And some people say it's painful for the family, but I like to think it's more painful for the caregiver and the front line. Because there you are, you did everything, and you know that if only we had this, ventilators, we had this, PPE, we had this, and you know that time is running out. I heard some of my friends say they cry when they arrive home or on the way home because they cannot remove from their mind that thing that happened where they feel totally helpless. I wish I can really answer your question, and I wish I could really have a quick one answer. But what I want to say is this: that is the true test of thriving. When you have two choices, you can actually blame your hospital, you can blame the medical, you can blame DOH, you can blame the government. But that pain you see, you cannot remove that. That's the only thing you can control, correct? You cannot, I'm not suggesting don't ask. I'm saying you can ask. But the only thing you have control of is how you take care of that life in front of you and how you become a representative of humanity to say, I wish you peace and I wish I could have done more. Yeah. I want you to know that it's not wasted. Many frontliners tell me that, the only satisfaction here is you are the last person they see. Sometimes you are the last hand that they will hold. The small hand that you press them with their breathing and to say, let's do it together. Yeah. And they give their last breath. All I can say is, I wish there are many people like you who are brave enough to do that. So I can only say, as I said, I started by saying, I don't really know how that will feel. I can only imagine. But I wish you the best, because in those moments, that's when you grow several, notch taller, because you actually absorb humanity. And for me, every frontliner is a thriver. I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Thank you, Sir Roger, and thank you to the thriving frontliners, not only in the Philippines, but all over the world. So with that, Sir Roger, we'd like to ask you for the takeaway. We're already home, but the last minute of our interview would be, what do you want us to take away? We've taken a lot already in.
Okay.
But last word, sir.
I will just go back to my final message. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just remember the three. Don't waste a good crisis. This is good. Good for you. Good for everybody. Number two, take care of your emotion. Okay. Your expectations. Just get better. Learn something out of it. Things you cannot control, you fight for it. When you can't do anything about it, just manage the way you respond to yourself, to the people around you. And number three, this is my very important message. You know that thriving is really not such a very difficult thing to do. I'll tell you why. Thriving is a button that you actually have. You will be amazed that under stressful situation, let's think about the frontliners. I'm very sure they told themselves, I don't know how I can handle it. But when you're there, you just press that button called thriving, and suddenly you amaze yourself and say, hey, I'm doing it. Okay, so here's my good advice. God gave you a button. It's called the thriver button. Okay? Don't even look at me. Don't even look at the notes. It's there. So here's my suggestion. Use it, because you'll be amazed. You are made of hard stuff. And everything I told you, that's not extraordinary. You just have to press that button. And to all of those, and my final message to all of you on the front line, thank you for being the representative of humanity. Thank you for pressing that button. Because you have taught us by your action. We need to press the button in our own lives when we need to. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Sir Roger. Everybody, put your hands together. Wonderful experience. 2 hours of enrichment coming from Sir Roger. Sir Roger, I'm looking forward to seeing you once again face to face when all of these lockdown mandates are lifted and when God permits. Thank you, sir. God bless you, your kids, your wife. Be blessed and thrive some more in Singapore.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for
Thank you.
everyone, thank you, sir. And as Sir Roger fades out of the screen, fades in Miss Irish Malonda. Wow. We're now being flooded with gratitude and message of thanks.
Clap, clap, clap. Thank
Clap,
you so
clap, clap,
much,
grabe.
Sir Roger Collantes, for a very fun, refreshing, inspiring session. So, sabi ko nga, Sir Howell, in a snap, parang it took away my anxieties, my worries in this uncertain time. So, that was really refreshing. Thank you. A big hand to Sir Roger Collantes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, sir.
Okay, may tatanong ka sa akin.
Of course, takeaway, and also to our participants, share with us your takeaways, the nuggets of wisdoms that you got to with the session of Sir Roger Collantes.
Ako, I have a realization. Kasi last year, the Roger Collantes I know was this AI, very logical, intellectual, future-oriented person. And that's a beautiful side of Sir Roger.
With
but
Cruiser,
now,
the robot. Yeah.
diba? The robots, the AI. But now, the Roger Collantes I saw, we all have seen, is the father, the husband, the fellow Filipino, the coach, the teacher who feels and connects. And
I agree.
Teaches us so much. So thank you, sir. So that's my best takeaway. That he's not only analytical, he's also creative, but most importantly, puso ni Sir Roger. Yun ang pinakagusto ko.
I agree. Mine is, of course, the mindset, two mindsets. Agility and grit.
Iyan, magaling ka dyan.
Yes. Okay. So, Sir Howell, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure, alam mo yan.
I'll be seeing you on Monday for our another session.
So 2 days akong bakasyon. Yes, Saturday, Sunday.
Have a great weekend, Sir Howell.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank
Don't
you
go
so
away.
much.
Thank you, Miss Irish.
Okay. So for those of you guys, please stay tuned because I have lots of announcements to make. And hello first to Sir Eric Manalo, Jobar, Jay Chan of Cebu City, and Diesel Santos of Marikina City. And guys, we would like to thank our win-win partners who help us make this event possible. So for our official media partner, thank you to Art Plus Magazine, Focus Media Partner, Globaltronics, City Advertising Ventures, Outcome, Elevate Media. For win-win partners, thank you to Brother, Faber-Castell, Glutacy, Moringa O2, KFC, Mr. Donut, Tokyo, Lotus Biscoff. Thank you also to Boss Job, Sir Technology Inc., Finma Properties, Salary Jet, Ilawi Korea, Kitosunan Corpo Consulting, Enchanted Kingdom, Disperse, Cosmetech Philippines Inc. And if you want to place your ads here, advertise your company, your services, your logo, have a brand exposure to thousands of viewers, please email us at marketing@ariva.com.ph. And if you want to know our upcoming online learning sessions, please like our Facebook page. It's Ariva Academy Philippines Inc. And we also live streaming our e-learning sessions on our Facebook page. So don't forget to like us. And if you want to watch the replay of our e-learning sessions, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Ariva Academy and Ariva Talks. It's a library of e-learning sessions that you can share also to your colleagues, office mates, and boss. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Our upcoming online learning sessions, please register. Of course, we would like to invite you on our HR Virtual Summit PH 2020. We have invited international and local subject matter experts. Actually, this session is also a part of our HR Virtual Summit PH 2020. We would like to invite you, May 11, data privacy concerns during a pandemic, protecting personal data in the time of COVID-19. Don't forget, this will be on Monday. Register. We have invited attorney James Earl Chu to discuss this session. Another e-learning session, COVID-19, Google and You, boosting your productivity using Google tools. This will be on Tuesday, May 12, and we have invited Dr. Ed Canela to talk about this. Another live webinar series for a cost solutions-oriented leadership, how to survive and thrive during a crisis. And we have invited an international guru, Dr. Rick Goodman from United States, to talk about this. Don't forget, Wednesday, May 13th. Another live webinar series, rethinking customer intimacy strategies during the pandemic. This will be on Wednesday in the afternoon, 3 to 4:30 p.m. And we have invited again Professor Ricky De Vera to share with us his thoughts on this. We would like to invite you on another e-learning masterclass. We have Mr. Jonathan Yabot to discuss this, the Asia's Millennial Guru, leading a work-from-home workforce, how to manage and develop remote teams. This will be on May 14, 4 to 6 p.m. So please join us. Another e-learning session, live webinar series for a cause, find your voice of resiliency so that you lead with confidence. This will be on Friday, May 15 in the morning, 10:30 to 11:30. This will be discussed by Mr. Paul Larson from United States. And if you want to customize an e-learning session exclusive for your company, for your team, please do reach me at 0916-695-4418, or you can email me at irish.arivaacademy@gmail.com. And guys, thank you for joining us today. Hope that you learned a lot from Mr. Roger Collante's session. I hope to see you again on Monday. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. This is Irish Malonda Samson in Ariva. It's all about being better, be safe, and stay home, guys. Thank you.